Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Psychic Tarot Show, coming to you live every Saturday here on the Beyond Mystic YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. Today is technically, we're in that window of within a day and a half, depending on what year you're in. It's officially the solstice, summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, winter solstice in the Southern Hemisphere. Hello, everyone tuning in from both North and South. Hi, Lupo, Sweet Pea, Dee Dee, Lucas, Ricky. Lovely to see you, Linda. Digibean. Woohoo! So many of our regular followers, and I just love meeting with you here every week because it's my opportunity to kind of just clear the deck, just kind of have a moment of a fresh start. Just say, let's put everything aside, tune our energies in together, and see how we can share and co-support to receive the best messages that are going to help us in this upcoming week. Hi, Angela. Lovely to see you. So before we get started, as always, I will remind you, let me just do my screen here, to like, share, and subscribe over here on the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel. Whoop, I got to put it up. Hold on. There we go. Or follow us on Rumble right here, Rumble and X channels streaming live. And you can find me at Beyond Mystic Consultations. And you can use the coupon code below to get a 10% discount booking a private tarot reading session with me. And I'm taking bookings not this coming week, but the following one. Seems to be the way. I'm usually booked up about a week or so in advance. And I do book a lot of sessions every week. So yeah, it's great. I'm so delighted to be able to meet many of you. And I learn so much by tuning in with your energy. It's like there's so much shared wisdom that we have access to. And I love to bring some of that into these sessions, into these readings and predictions for the upcoming week. So I noticed a comment about, I hope that this summer solstice, I'll see if I can find it, is going to charge my batteries. There it is, Sweet Pea 9.99. I'm hoping energy coming through the solstice will charge my batteries. And I feel like this is a great opportunity for us to look at how we're meant to utilize this energy. I think Meg and I have talked about this particular summer solstice, and summer in general is not, or winter solstice, winter in general, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's not typical. It's not the usual. The weather doesn't feel typical. The energies feel unusual. So let's tune in together and see what we're meant to do with this unusual aspect. It just is really making me think about the need to stay flexible instead of looking at things predictability, right? We're looking into what's going on in the world stage and going, wow, there's so much complexity, and it's so very, very hard to predict how things are going to unfold. And what I notice for myself is when there is that unpredictability, it's a great opportunity for me to tune inward and design my own experience of predictability, which means really, really focusing on the things that I have agency with and using this as an incentive to get very, I want to say, organized, very into these really healthy, positive routines. And maybe this is part of what we're meant to learn this week. Let's have a look and see. Going to make this larger. There we go. Wow. Okay, we're starting off in pretty good shape here. And I think I remember last week we started off in really good shape as well. So again, don't underestimate how much strength and resilience you've already generated. This card, the strength card, it indicates that you don't just get to go, oh yeah, I'm strong. You've earned this strength. This is strength that you have earned through hard work. And it is energetic strength. It is psychic strength, psychological strength, emotional strength. And this is where we are. So our community are in a good place starting out. Ooh-wee. Counting our blessings. So 10 of Cups in the House of Taurus, security, resources, what we do with our resources. There's some way that you're going to feel, I want to say a little bit like not splurging, but also not hoarding. There's going to be an expansive sense of it's okay to spend a little bit right now, especially if it is in connection or sharing or some form of celebration, especially with your closest people. So, just pulling a little bit out of the coffers and putting it into real world connection could be super valuable this week. Let's see what's around that on the other side. Okay, Gemini. Oh, wow. You saw me shuffling, everybody. Here we go again, right? 8 of Wands in Gemini. A lot of energy. Yeah, and technically, right, we have shifted out of Gemini season into Cancer, into the sign of Cancer, the sun into Cancer. I still feel there is a lot of just wild energy. Again, that Wild West energy in the airwaves in terms of information, intel, news, so much going in all directions, right? The 8 of Wands, this is a lot of energy coming at us. And it's in the House of Gemini, which rules the mind, how we process information, and how we communicate. So a lot is going on. A lot is going on in the airwaves. And I'm really even getting this translating into electrical energy, translating into impulses coming in. The session I just did before I came onto this live, I got a real message about us going through, kind of the photon belt, going through these solar storms, just this huge amount of electrical energy, and seeing the comments and noticing that we are seeing storm activity in a lot of places on the planet. It does feel to me like this is reflected in this frequency coming at us, relentlessly coming at us. So let's see how we manage that. Are we going to feel energized by it, or are we going to feel bowled over by it? Well, it's a great time to get connected with home and family. So interesting, Meg was talking about that as well for the new moon that is coming up, which is, I think, in 3 or 4 days or something like that. And that new moon in Cancer often is a time where we want to be close to home. We want to be really feeling good in our homes and focused on, feeling that groundedness, that security. So 2 cards suggesting that home and family are really highlighted this week. maybe not venturing out too much. It's like we've got all this energy coming in at us. And this is a great time to cleanse your home. I like to do a really big clean, well, every month on the new moon, but I also like to do a special deep clean at the changing of the seasons. So the solstices and the equinoxes. And interestingly, the summer solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere has us really wanting to be outside, connecting with the sun is the highest in the sky. And the winter solstice, if you're down in the Southern Hemisphere, is where we want to be inward mostly. This particular solstice, no matter where you are, it could feel like you kind of want to stay close to home and maybe focus on cleansing and purifying your home environment. Another wand. And again, we are really looking at energy that has us keeping in our own lane this week. This is a continuation of what we've seen over the past few weeks. And this is the victory card is very similar to the strength card. It means that we've already achieved some success and we're building our momentum. We're feeling like pretty good in terms of our energy, like we're in the game and we feel like we're seeing successes. Another way you can read this, especially with 6 of Wands, 10 of Cups, and the Strength card, all about a lot of gratitude, a lot of counting your blessings, a lot of looking for where you're succeeding, not focusing on where things are not working. And it's so interesting that we have so much negativity out there in the mainstream media and so on, pressing those fear and panic buttons nonstop. I often notice that those energies trying to kind of disorient or distract us sometimes are about like taking our focus away from noticing where we are actually. So for example, let's just say if we didn't have that disruptive feedback coming at us, many people would be feeling like a tremendous sense of optimism, of renewal, of like feeling like we are on track. And so the desire to pull us away, or the need, if you were trying to keep humanity feeling limited, vulnerable, afraid, you would want to distract them while this energy was coming in. So let's not get distracted and let's really pay attention to how we feel. Yeah. Just gonna jump over to the comments and see how you're all feeling. Yeah, thank you, Bjarni. 6 of Wands, victory. Jupiter in Leo, victory, success, clarity, breakthrough, unification of energies. Love it. Hi, Crystal. My kiddo's in here. Nice to see you, John. Yeah. John says Coco talked about being in the iceberg, a better understanding of what's false, what's actually real. Mm-hmm. So many big vibes in the air right now. It's so powerful, but positive and cleansing. I agree. That's exactly what I'm getting at here. So let's keep going and see what else is on board. Okay, so we've got a couple here. We've got a pair. Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. The Queen is in the House of Cancer, home, family, your sanctuary. The King is in the House of Virgo, which is your health and your daily life, your practicalities, your habits, and so on. So a really nice pair. And what do we know about this sign? Pentacles. It's earth. It is practicality. It is our groundedness. It is the 3D, but we've got the two most highly developed characters or leaders in 3D. We have the king and the queen. So in the health, that focus on our health, our habits, we've got the highest guide or support in that house that you could get, basically. And then in the house of home and sanctuary, we've got second in command, which is really interesting because queens are a lot about our relationships. And so in the house of home and family, there is a sense of, I want to say coming into common agreement about what matters and possibly even, healing in relationships through practical means. So whether you agree or not, getting together on some kind of practical purpose, the proof is in the pudding kind of energy. In terms of your family, coming together, showing up in a very practical way. So not so much focusing on the drama or the trauma, the drama comes from the trauma, but looking at how are they showing up in 3D? How are they showing up in the material realm? And there could be some repair around family fractures that people are willing to work together. This could even be something like a work party or something, like getting family together, getting friends together, and getting a job done that's been hanging over everybody's head, or at least possibly even strategizing something like that you're going to do in the next 5 or 6 weeks. It has the way of bonding people, even if they don't agree on everything. If they come together to work together on a common good, a common goal, it has the effect of smoothing things over, doesn't it? Okay. Wow. So the second major arcana card, there's 22 of them out of 78 in the tarot. We have one here, which is in Aries, and that's strength. And then we have one across from that in the house of Libra, relationships, partnerships, agreements, and so on, which is the big judgment card. Go big or go home. Lots of things coming to a head. A lot about negotiations, diplomacy. So we see this in the world at large. I get the sense of treaties being signed. I get the sense of negotiations happening, even things that are set in place over the next 3 or 4 months. Sometimes I see this as being, you see how there's the red cross in the center. I sometimes see this as being a Band-Aid solution, but it gets us through the rough patch. So this can happen in the world at large and also at the same time in our personal lives. So we might be looking at some way that we create a temporary fix or negotiation, a treaty, a peace treaty that will get us through the rough phase. And again, it's not meant to replace long-term strategy. It's meant to diffuse extremes and to calm everything down. So I get this in the larger political arena, international, global arena, and I also get this in the personal realm. Okay. It's also, where we get some clarity, and there could be some bargaining that's brought to the table. It feels like we're at a crossroads in our personal dynamics and also in our global dynamics. And so, I often say to people, if you want to see the change outside, of course, be the change inside, right? Live from that place and notice any part of your life that resonates with what's going on the planet. That's your way of kind of chipping in and doing your part to change that frequency. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you, Trip 2. Happy solstice to you as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Digibean, the wake up card. The wake up card. Yep. So let's keep going. Breathe deep, everybody. Again, honestly, I just keep almost wanting to refer people back to my YouTube channel and look back at like 2022 and look at the forecast. I used to call them soul samplers. I did them every Sunday, and look back, it was some scary stuff back then, folks. Wow. So yeah, this is where we're really at. And ending, new beginning. Ending, Scorpios, the house of ending, new beginning, death, transformation, change. We have 6 of Pentacles, reciprocity, balance, giving and receiving, sharing, generosity, across from the 10 of Cups, kind of like the happily ever after card. So there is a real sense of random acts of kindness, good Samaritan energy. It's interesting. I just bought a homeless person breakfast, like a breakfast thing this morning. And it was just a very quick little thing. I was going into the grocery store. I saw them sitting there in the rain, looking we all know, right? And I know not to give money. And it was just so quick. I just quickly grabbed something and took it out, had it heated, went and got my stuff, picked it up on my way out, dropped it off. And it's that, and I literally said the little prayer, may this generosity spread. Like, this isn't just about this person and myself. This is about how we can remember how easy it is to share. I just love the loaves and fishes story from the Bible. It's like we forget how abundant we actually are. And this week, you may find it just spilling out of you, like just this like random acts of like generosity that feel really in alignment with the shift. And that's all we need to know, right? We don't need to know how does that one little act save and solve everything. We just do our part. We count. It counts. Remember my usual statement, nothing matters, but everything counts. It means it's okay. We came here to learn. We came here to make mistakes. We came here to go through really intense stuff. But also don't feel like what you're doing doesn't count, because it really does. It all adds up. It all adds up. Yeah. And look at that. Okay, I'm going to bring your awareness to this. This is in the house of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is about expansion, opening up the skylight, right? Opening up this, take the ceiling off, expand into possibility, all that Jupiter energy. It's ruled by Jupiter, right? So what looks like it's being hard justice being metered out, it's ours to turn into reciprocity. It's ours to repurpose this, what feels like hard justice, may be our greatest salvation. You notice there's only 2 sets of scales in the tarot. one in Justice and one in the Six of Pentacles. They're right beside each other. Karmic justice. And, you know, people have said to me, and I feel this way often too, it's really hard to see people suffering in another part of the world because we feel like, oh my gosh, like, how can I live well, eat well, feel safe when I go to bed? And people are literally suffering to such a great extent, including children. Innocent people are suffering. And what I've been shown, it's not about like your suffering along with them does not make their suffering any better. And it doesn't mean that you ignore them. You do everything in your power to share what you have, but you take the sun when it's over your head. You say, it's my turn to stand in this place. Because if they had the opportunity to stand there, they would not be asking for more rain. They would be saying, yeah, bring it on. So somehow we don't get all of us to heaven by, you know, waiting for the next person before we go through. Like and it was interesting. I got the analogy earlier today in a reading as well about we're going through the eye of the needle, or the, you know, the skinny part of the hourglass. And all this energy gets filtered into the soul and the self. So everything, if you think of it like a giant toroidal, everything that's going on in the world right now is going to come down to this point. And I'm not sure exactly when, but it feels imminent, where you take your turn and you go through that eye of the storm. You don't wait for anyone else. You don't, you know, we go one by one through that, through that, I want to say, narrow passage where we are sort of acknowledged and counted. What we are doing, it really is counting for something. It's kind of the image I'm getting. A little bit cryptic, but how's that landing with all of you? Yeah. Aw. Lupo. Hi, Saggy friends. Such beautiful spreads lately. Yeah. The energy of giving is so much higher than the energy of taking, right? 2 6s. Yeah, let's count the numbers here. And how did I? Just a second. There we go. And you can see better the numbers. We've got 1 8, 2 8s. We've got 1 6, 2 6s, and we've got 1 10. So far we've got 2 8s and 2 6s. Doubles are mastery. So mastering the energy of patterns of manifestation, you know, building up a momentum. Where are you putting your energy to build momentum? Where are you showing up regularly? Even if you don't get the result you want right away, where are you going back to square one, back to the drawing board? Miles to go. If you know it's the right thing to do, just keep doing it. That's the 8s. And then 6s are about harmony. They are about reciprocity, giving and receiving, generosity. Beautiful. Mastering that art. Okay. Ooh. Wow. 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 Okay, I'm going to lift this up a little bit so you can see more of the whole spread, hopefully. Just a sec. Did a little bit. It worked a little bit. Yep. I think we'll have have to settle for that. Let me just shift it around. There we go. Okay. 2 of Cups in the highest position. Wow. Divine union in Capricorn. Okay. Capricorn is about really bringing things into their fullest expression, right? It's sort of like the rules, the laws, the order. It's sort of like civil order. It's where we make it our reality on a big scale. It's like Capricorn, it's at the highest position, and it's really the rule makers, the lawgivers, the organized everything, our organized religions, our hierarchies, our organized educational hierarchies, and so on. And this is almost saying, in a way, that the highest order is coming into really being about balance and reciprocity and relationships. So we are healing from power dominance and coming into power equality of masculine and feminine. Equality, right? They're standing on equal ground, sharing equally. And there's an alchemy or a healing that happens that up levels the whole thing. So whatever's going on in the global political arena, this is where we're actually at. Yeah. It's rarefied for sure. I'm like, is this really possible that we can get through this? Let's see. Where do we go next? Oh yeah, there had to be a little troublemaker. There had to be a little problematic thing. Okay, you know what this is? This 7 of Cups in the house of Aquarius. Well, for one, it is, I feel like we're already going to get a dose of, oh my gosh, there's a lot of fakery going on because of technology and how everything can be artificially designed. And it just I think we're getting to a point already, believe it or not. I'm shocked to see this, but it's like we're already just getting sick of that. It's barely come upon us, and we're like, nope, nope, you know. So the window is closing on how much I think AI can just, people are not going to be as excited about it, even within the next 7 or 8 weeks. It's just going to be kind of like a flop in a way. I mean, it's useful definitely for certain things, but I think this whole idea that AI is going to be like the answer to everything, people are going to be really just so kind of bored with the mastery of all the illusion that happens because of it. And yeah, also there's something about noticing the power of group, like consensus, like group mind. And what's the word for that, where you all help me, what's the word? Mass formation, that's it. This concept of mass formation and how we get swept into something because it becomes this trend or something. I feel like we're moving beyond that. This week, we're going to be seeing through that clearly and going, oh, no, I'm not jumping on that bandwagon. So already mass formation is losing its steam. Yeah. Oh, Hermilla says, people want real connections, not a love life with your GPS system. So well put. Right? Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for thanks, John. Yeah, right? Aw. Yeah, and Lupo, the 7 of Cups sums up the world situation now, or how it appears. Seven of Cups, one way of looking at it is, well, it's my illusion. It's getting caught in the web of kind of illusion and fakery, fake news, fake this, fake that, fake, right? And it's can be very, very disorienting. I'm just really feeling it's that the hand of illusion, the Wizard of Oz, like it's all that stuff. And we're going to start, like, it's interesting because I've been questioning, how are we going to discern what's real and what isn't? If AI can produce all these things and people can just mine all the information from other people's well-researched stuff, people that have lived these awarenesses, this wisdom and knowledge, and someone else can just go in, get their AI to go in and mine all this stuff out and turn it into their own thing. We're going to feel it, is what I'm getting. We're going to start to just be able to sense it. It's kind of like in the old days when we had like marketing, or you'd have like a storefront with all the right stuff in it, right? Like all the right window display and all the right marketing. And you'd walk in and you'd be like, ew, this feels weird. I don't like it. I don't like this. It doesn't feel good. And then you go into some little mom and pop shop or something and you'd be like, oh, I love it in here. It feels so nice and I want to spend my money here, right? I think it's going to be the same in the AI realm. It's going to be this, like, we're going to feel the difference. And why not? We have these extraordinary, like, radar sensitivities, and the more spiritually developed we become, our own technology just recognizes something that resonates or doesn't. So I love this. I love this. This makes me super, super happy. And let's see the final card for this week. Sealed with a bow, sealed with a kiss, everybody. Sealed with a kiss. 3 of Cups. Joy, celebration. How lovely is that? In Pisces, in the deep subconscious. So, just look at these cards. Okay, so how many cups do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cups. Quite a lot of cups, and most of them super positive. We have, do you notice? No swords. Not yet. I wonder what's going in the middle. Sword. Okay, so 6 of Swords in the middle, moving out of troubled water, getting clear ideas of where we're going and how we're getting there. At least the first leg of the journey. And I'm talking about in your mind, clearing, clarity. It's the only sword. And it's the third. Is it the third 6? 1, 2, 3. The third 6. A blessing in generosity, sharing, giving and receiving, service to others. Love it. Harmony. Think of the hexagonal shape of the beehive, right? The cells of the beehive have that 6-sided shape. So I always think about the bees are like working together. They share the responsibility. That's a lot of the energy of the 6th. It's about working together, shared responsibilities. So, and it's a harmonizing number. Beautiful. And 3 of a kind is a blessing. Wow. Wow. And just keep going, everybody. 6 of Wands across from that 7 of Cups, that illusion, it will clear quickly. If you feel a little foggy, if you feel a little bit like disoriented, if you feel like there's a lot of energy coming at you, it's kind of like they're going, just see it like fog and just move through it and it'll clear. It'll dissipate. Beautiful. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Right? Foggy, yeah, foggy. Although, really not too much. And the interesting foggy part is about us with our community, right? So Aquarius is related to, that's this house placement, Aquarius. It's related to our friends and our networks. It's also related to technology. So yeah, you know, our that's where I was talking about mass formation and feeling swept into some sort of group process. Isn't it interesting? I feel like it doesn't matter what the controllers, the old paradigm, deep state, right? It doesn't matter what that agenda throws our way. We are clearing it so quickly in terms of, it doesn't have that hold on us for very long. Like we get swept in a little bit. I mean, how can you not, right? It's like it wouldn't be healthy to pay no heed to huge things. Um, and yet, yeah, we have left the fakeness of our past world. So much of it, thank you, great point. So much of it um, has been, now that we see the art of the grand illusion, and it does remind me, I don't know if any of you ever studied marketing back, even 25, 30 years ago. There were all these studies done on the effects of the way marketing could like literally get into our subconscious and make us want to buy stuff, and all that subconscious marketing strategy stuff that was basically unrolled as soon as, post war, as soon as we got into anything to do with really big propaganda machines. I mean, it even happened earlier, right? But how propaganda is designed to stimulate the part of our brain that is going to be reactive like this, right? It's almost like um, pushing our subconscious buttons. But as we become more conscious, we don't just automatically fall for that initial hit. We can kind of see beyond it. And it feels like many of us are at that point. So, yeah, right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. hmm I'm so glad that we are out of the matrix. Yep. The appearance of the fog has lost its hold, clearing by the day. hmm and often I feel like that outer fog is to the degree that we still have a fog inside of us. So, this is why consciousness, work on developing your consciousness through learning spiritual practices, through knowing yourself, right? Know thyself. Um, Learning more about our collective history, the real history, learning more about who you are, where you came from, who were your ancestors, finding out more about how you work, you know, and learning about metaphysics and spirituality from this much more kind of diverse and holistic perspective. All of that makes us more conscious. And as we become more conscious, we are not as easily tripped into unconscious, subconscious programming. Yeah. Great work, everybody. Well, this hour or 45 minutes went by really fast. I'm going to bring you some information here that feels important. I'm going to start off by sharing with you. Let me go back here. Share with you Jens's ancestral healing meditation. I'm just going to check and see when this is happening. Has it happened already? Yes. No. Sorry. Live on June 24th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join Jens for a powerful heart opening ancestral healing meditation designed to help you release inherited patterns, beliefs, and trauma passed down through your lineage. So, what I was just talking about, as we clear from the past, from our history, from the things that we've inherited that come through into this life, even our past lives, Jens is saying it, as we heal the past, we liberate the present and illuminate the path ahead. And this is right up my alley. I've done work with ancestral healing for over a decade, and I have offerings to share related to this. They're still in the process of being developed, but I look forward to bringing some of that content to you in the weeks and months ahead. And look at this. I'm going to share this. So I think many of you have already seen, but there is a 50% off sale on the Insider Access Pass. Use code SUMMER50 in capital letters to access that discount. Look at that great photo of Janine and Jean-Claude from the conference. What a great bunch, and what a powerful time, and what an important resource this is. So jump on and access that discount if you haven't done so already. And you can find me right here on the Beyond Mystic consultations page, where you can book a 1-hour session with me. And these sessions are recorded. You can go back and refer to it as often as you want. And of course, as always, please like and follow us here on the Beyond Mystic Rumble channel and X channels, and also subscribe and follow us here on YouTube. And finally, let's have a look at this upcoming week. We are today the Psychic Tarot Show every Saturday, and tomorrow Beyond Astro with Meg, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Rumble and YouTube. The Wacky Woo Show is happening tomorrow at 8 till 9. And Monday we have the Daily Astro, Coffee and Chats with Coco. Ooh, that looks great. And Beyond the News, 8 to 9 p.m. with Jean-Claude and Janine. So lovely to be here with you all, as usual. And I wish you a beautiful solstice week. Just think about this energy, right? Solstice being the time of year, these rare moments, that the solstices and the equinoxes where the veils are very thin. And the equinoxes are a lot about balancing. They're a lot about coming into balance, into harmony. Now, we had all of those sixes in our reading. So there's already this energy, even though we are in one of the most polarized times of year, right? That sun is high in the north and low in the south, the most extreme time of the year when we kind of do this pivot point. And yet we have all that energy of balance, reciprocity. So I feel like it's going to feel less extreme this particular solstice week, if you can allow that inner balance to emerge, because we've earned it, haven't we? Yeah. Have a beautiful week, everybody. Blessings to you all. I look forward to seeing you here again Tuesday with Meg. Actually, Tuesday's going to be Janine and I, so check that out. Have a lovely week. Bye for now.